So today we're out checking the Panasonic S1ll out a little bit more. Really checking out the stabilization today. I really want to check it out. I want to make sure I have it in the right mode. Okay, I got the stabilization in the right mode, so we're good to go. I got it in just standard. And I'm just going to kind of walk around the botanical gardens a little bit, talk about the S1, and see what happens. Now, I do have it just an aperture priority, and we're using LUMIX A2, which I've heard is a really good picture profile. Not shooting log today because I really don't feel like messing with any of that. And I wanted to just see what a standard picture profile would look like in this camera. And I'm shooting with the 20 to 60. That's really the only lens I have. I do have the 15 to 40, 18 to 40 rather. And it's a pretty good lens, you know, but it's just not that good. And it's not really that good on this camera, kind of weird. And I have a 35 f2 from Mikey. And it's a really good lens too, but I like doing a zoom lens and I'm not kind of doing this type of stuff. So we're just checking out the stabilization and the color profile. And I want to talk about some of the good things that I discovered that I like about this camera up until this point. Now, I know that the past few videos that I've made about this camera, it seems like I'm just bitching about it all the time. And that might be true. But there are some things that I really, really like about it. And I feel like there's something there. There's something that that makes me want to explore this camera more than I have. And we're going to switch over to high stabilization and see what that looks like. All right, we have just a little bit more crop there with that. And some of the things that I really like about this is obviously the stabilization in it is top tier. And that's one of the reasons that I wound up picking up this camera. Sony's stabilization is just not that great, and everybody knows that. And since I'm out a lot of the times, you know, with the family and doing stuff, I like to have good stabilization. I'll turn my microphone down just a little bit. It's important to me to have good stabilization. Now, I have noticed that the Sony dynamic active stabilization is pretty good. However, there's such a massive crop with that. Like, to me, when you get the Sony camera, you know, lined up and set, the stabilization looks comparable to the Panasonic, just in standard. However, with the Sony, there's such a massive crop. I mean, there's such a massive crop that it kind of stinks to use, because you'll be sitting there with, you know, this huge crop. So it really forces you, if you're planning on doing any kind of vlogging or anything, to use the 16 to 35 or 16 to 25. It's like a super wide lens. And then, you know, when you want to take pictures or something, you have this super wide lens on, which is not ideal. So it just creates a issue for me that I don't like using a super wide lens all the time. So and then you have to, if you're going to be using dynamic active stabilization. So with this camera, you don't have to use the high mode. You can pretty much just use the standard mode and get away with it. But right now I'm in high, and we're going to go all the way to the top of this treehouse and see what happens. Shaky bridge there. Another shaky bridge. And we'll see what that looks like. It's pretty shaky up here. Now, I don't think I'm gonna go down this slide, because I'd probably get stuck halfway. So a lot of things that I've complained about so far with this camera has been just the growing pains, and that could be any camera. When you pick up a new system, there's always going to be growing pains. You're just going to sit there and wonder yourself, like, what's going on? Why is it like this? So on and so forth. So I'm trying to force myself past those growing pains, because I just feel like there's something in this camera that I want to explore more. And so that's why I hadn't just sent it back yet. Now, You think I have a hard time with change and cameras and stuff. I just moved my 18-year-old daughter into the dorms. This thing got my eye? I have no idea. I just moved my 18-year-old daughter into the dorms, and she's never been one good with change. And now that I got this new camera, I see where she gets it from, because it hasn't been good for her, and this camera hasn't been good for me, but we're both trying to work through separate things together. One of the things I really enjoy about this camera is the photography control, the JPEG control. And I really do enjoy the picture profiles that are built in this camera. I like the standard one. It's great. I like the classic Neo, Leica Neo, or whatever it's called. I enjoy that one. And I like the Leica monochrome. So, you know, and with those picture profiles, you're able to control them a little bit. You can control the saturation, noise reduction, all this, and then add grain into them, which is nice. You know, you get a lot of you get a lot of control with the photo portion, kind of like a Fuji camera, a little bit, not quite there, but a lot. And then, you know, if you want to take that one step further, you can go into LUMIX Lab app. But yeah, I've talked about that before in my past videos. It's not ideal. I don't enjoy that, but I just like doing the changes right in my camera. And when I get my photos back, just the JPEGs, I tend to really enjoy them. So the photo aspect of it, so the actual image quality of the photos, I enjoy. The 24 megapixels, if I'm just out doing normal stuff with my, you know, by myself or personal stuff, that's plenty enough megapixels to get by. So if anybody's worried about that, it's not that big a deal. Now, if you're out doing sports, you know, where you're going to need to crop in, wildlife, stuff like that, maybe this isn't the one for you. But I enjoy the photo aspects of this camera for sure. So I finally got my custom buttons setting up. Finally, it's taken forever to do that, but I got them set up where I can go just one button. I can go from just the, you know, regular picture profile straight into Leica monochrome. I'm enjoying that. Then I set up one with a aspect ratio, so I can also get that really wide, I forgot what they call it, but the really wide one that everybody talks about, and that's pretty cool too. These people running around out here that actually work out here, they got to be thinking I'm just absolutely nuts because I'm out here all the time. And another thing I really like about this camera is the back screen. Now, this one has the tilt flippy, flip floppy, every which way but loose screen, just like Sony does. However, this one's much brighter than the Sony's. I don't know what happened on the Sony A1 II and the A9 III, but those screens are significantly less bright than even like the A7R5. I don't know why, but they are. So right now I can see this screen fairly well even out in the sunlight. A1 II, it would be pretty much washed out by now. So I enjoy this type of flip screen, and I appreciate it being brighter than the Sony for sure. Here's the crazy thing is I have all my custom modes saved in video or OpenGate. And to be honest with you, I really haven't found a good use case for OpenGate yet. Now I understand for a lot of people it's really important. You're running a video protection company, you want to be using OpenGate, because sometimes you'll need the extra resolution to crop however you want. Me, not so much. But I have it set to OpenGate because by God it has it in there, and we're going to see what it does. And today all the footage that you'll see is the 5.1K OpenGate 60 frames per second. That's what I'm shooting in today. Okay, I'm on standard stabilization right now, and I want to see if I can sit here and hold it, what it looks like, just a steady shot. Then I'm going to do like a panning shot. I got both hands on the camera. So that's just to kind of Some of the things that I really enjoy about this camera so far, and trust me, I'm going to try to explore this a little bit more. Like, I haven't even shot with anything in RAW yet, and that's one of the main reasons I got this camera, is because I wanted to explore shooting in RAW. Is it going to make any difference? Probably not, but I want to check it out. But as far as today's video goes, let me know what you think of the stabilization, the Cinelink A2, and you might tell me some of the things that you really enjoy about your Panasonic camera, so I can check that out going forward. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.